Trusting people is scary. I'm struggling to trust so many people at once. And it's like, I can't keep up. I miss the relationships that didn't come with so many questions. New relationships? Oh man. There's so much insecurity. You're like, can I call them? Do they like being called? Should I text them? Are they a texter? Do they like voice notes? I don't know if they like voice notes. It's dating. And I thought I had bypassed dating ever again. And yet it never stops. Now I'm just dating friends. Going through the awkwardness and the insecurities of new friendships. I thought I was done with that. But yet here I am. So yes, community has been knocking my butt out, okay? I just miss the comfort of the people I already know I can trust, the people I already know love the Lord for real. So I moved to Dallas around 9 months ago, and I'm not okay. Like, at all. Maybe I'm going through a midlife crisis. Midlife, my goodness. A quarter life crisis. That's what it's giving. Who am I? Who am I? If you are new to my channel, my name is Naya Louis, originally Naya Ford, if you have seen my other content in the past. And if you are coming here from my short form content from TikTok or Instagram, welcome. This is my umpteenth time of trying to be consistent with long form content. I think this time it's really gonna stick. That's what I'm hoping for. That is what I'm hoping for. So here I am. I figured it would be the most appropriate to talk about where have I been, what is going on. So bear with me, y'all, because it's been a journey. I am a New York girl. I have been born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. And I recently moved to Dallas around either 9-10 months ago at this point. Probably 9 months ago at this point. And it's been me and my husband here, and honestly, I'm really grateful for our apartment. Like when we got here, we didn't even want to come to Dallas. Let's say that. I didn't want to come to Dallas. That was not the game plan. We got a 90-day notice from our property manager saying like, hey, you're either going to re-sign for another lease or y'all gonna get up out of here. And we were never planning on staying for another year. So we were just like, all right, well, I guess they're cutting it short. So we started our New York apartment hunt. If you're coming here for my short form content, you may have even seen my apartment hunting series. If you haven't, you guys can definitely go follow me on my short form platforms at Naya, Naya, another A, Ford. And you can watch my apartment hunting series. It was fun. I will say it was fun doing. But the apartments in New York were ghetto, y'all. And something that's not talked about frequently is if you are not a 9-to-5 person, if you don't got pay stubs, you are a risk for an apartment. And at that, me and my husband were in our 20s. Why pick us when you can pick a 35-year-old with a 9-to-5 corporate job? You know what I'm saying? And then at that, if you don't have a typical 9-to-5 job, what they don't tell you is like they have specific requirements on show us bank statements, but we're only gonna take 2% of the income that we see in the bank. It was ridiculous. It made no sense. And we had got it down to, I think, about 2 or 3 different apartments we were genuinely considering. One was in the Bronx, which as a Brooklynite was a hard decision, but one was in the Bronx. It wasn't that far from where we were living in Harlem. A spot in North New Jersey. It was in Union City, so it was like 10 minutes into the city. It was super close. But that one would have been like almost $10,000 to move in. So I'm talking about, it was like a 2.5 month security deposit, 2 months of, it was like ridiculous, like the amount of money that was needed. So we would have been able to get into it, but we would have not been able to furnish it, right? So there's that. And then there was one more. Oh, okay, that wasn't one that we applied to. There was one that we saw last minute on Flatbush Junction, which is like me and my husband's old stomping grounds. And it was on the lottery. It was a decent price. It would have been a studio, but we would have been like basically in the heart of all we know. So we were willing to work with it, but they weren't even getting back to us to view the apartment. I had to fix the lighting because it's getting darker, but I'm committed to shooting this video. So yeah, so we had a few different apartments in mind and it just didn't work out. So we were like, okay, we are going to have to broaden our search. And when we brought in our search, when we visited this apartment, we had got a crazy deal. They took off like $700 from the rent. They took off all the amenity fees. They were like, basically all your application fees that they're going to refund it back to us once the lease started. It was like, basically they were just like, take the apartment, and it was a dream. So we ended up making the leap of faith and taking this apartment. Now I can't believe, and we signed a 2-year lease. I'm still shocked that we actually did it. Like, I'm glad, but I'm also like, what did we do? Okay, so all that to say, what has it been like in Dallas? I enjoy Dallas. I can't lie. I think it's been really good for me and my husband in our marriage being here, because we are naturally such independent individuals that in New York, like, we don't need each other. Versus being here in Dallas, it causes us to depend on one another. And the reason that's important is because our first year of marriage was in New York, so we didn't cleave. Like, you know that whole like leave and cleave thing? That didn't happen. So being in Dallas has been really good for our marriage because we've learned how to be a unit. And that's been really good for us, so I'm grateful. I love the lower cost of living in Dallas. Now, I won't say that applies to our apartment because we did pick a building that is a Northeast company, so the price is kind of getting Northeast a little bit, but that was us. That was a choice that we made because it's a more walkable area. We thought it would be a better transition for us as New Yorkers into the South versus like going to the suburbs. That would have been too stark. So, but I'm talking about groceries and all the other things. Like, Dallas ain't as cheap as you think. I'll just say that. It's not as cheap as you think, but it's way cheaper than New York. Like, it's feasible to buy a house. It is not this long, far off dream like it is for New Yorkers. Like, oh, I'm just gonna rent for the rest of my life. Like, no, it's a real thing here. So it's like the moment you leave New York, it's just kind of like life is a little easier. You realize, how long was I struggling for? And I accepted that. So I love the fact that it's a little easier to live here. It's just a little easier. I appreciate the weather of Texas. Y'all, so I'm an asthmatic and allergic to nature. So anything all outside. And usually for me in New York, I would have full-blown allergy attacks. I would get sick during the winter. Winters have always been horrible for me because New York is just rough like that, right? Being in Dallas, like, y'all, it does get cold. It does get cold, because I know people think like you go to Texas and it don't get cold. Y'all, it was 20 something degrees. But it's much shorter, and the average cold, we're talking like 50s. That's like average. You know, there are colder days, it does get colder than that, but it's just not the same. And I really appreciate that. I really do appreciate it. So those have been the pros to Dallas. The cons. The stuff that is knocking me out and has me going through a quarter life crisis. It is, I'll say this. I didn't realize that the transition was gonna hit me. It hit my husband a lot faster than it did for me. We've been here 9 months, now it's hitting me. And it's very uncomfortable. The uncomfortable part to Dallas is, one, everything is new. And when you say that, because we're a culture that appreciates new and big and shiny and constantly upgrading, that can sound really good. But I guess the biggest thing for me is like the newness of community. And that means trusting new people. That means making new friends. That means finding a new church. That's a lot to do at once. Before I even came to Christ, I had one friend. One! And I was straight. As an introvert, I was straight. But as I came to Christ and joined a church and found a community, I didn't know that I could love so many people. I didn't know that my heart could grow for so many people. And that is literally the grace of God, because that is not how I am naturally. God stretched me in ways I never believed I could be stretched in my old home church. God knew exactly where to place me. I had people who challenged me spiritually, but I know deeply love the Lord. I was discipled, and I've lived with people at my church during hard times. They have supported me financially when family members have passed. they did life with you. Like the type of church that you see in Acts 2, that was the church that I came from. Being here in Texas, I'm gonna do my best not to shade Texas churches. Finding a safe church in Texas is actually more challenging than finding one in New York. The reason why I say it is because it's the Bible Belt. There's so many churches. There's so many buildings. I don't know how many Christians there are for real though in Texas. And the reason why I say that is because the moment you go down south, you're going to face something called cultural Christianity. There are a lot of people who believe they are Christians, or not even say that, say they are Christians because their mom was a Christian, because their auntie was a Christian, because that's all they did growing up in their childhood, but they don't actually know Christ. They don't actually believe in the Bible. They know nothing about community and accountability. Like it doesn't exist. There is a lot of believers who mix religion. So in the sense of, hey, I'm a Christian, but I believe in New Age. I am a Christian, but I worship my ancestors. I'm a Christian, but I'm this. A lot of mixing. And that's not faith. That's not believing in Jesus. If you're mixing a bunch of other religions and basically customizing it into your own, that is not faith. Do you know how many Christians I thought I ran into and I was like, hey, I'm so glad I met another believer. And then they say something out of pocket and I'm like, I thought we was worshiping the same God. And it seems like we're not. So there's been a lot of that. Also, the way Texas churches are just very different. Almost every church is a mega church. And I didn't come from that. Like, I'm not necessarily anti-mega church, but it's just a very different experience than I had in New York City. Like, my church wasn't super huge. It was actually pretty intimate. It was big enough, but intimate. And these huge churches, it's overwhelming. And a lot of these churches in Texas are like aesthetic and like trendy. And I'm sorry, but I don't want that for my church. And it's literally not a shade thing. I think why I get concerned when I see churches that are hyper focused on aesthetic and trends is sometimes other things end up being sacrificed. So they care a lot about bringing in people through marketing, that we lose the gospel, that we lose the Bible, that we have sermons that are not focused on Christ, but just motivational messages. And that's not inherently bad, because I believe that that's a starting place for someone. Like, I couldn't listen to the same sermons that I listen to now when I first came to Christ. I don't even think I had the stomach for it, literally. But it is hard to find a church that, I don't know, a church that's just a church. It just feels like it comes with a lot more, and that's been a challenge. So me and Jonathan have not found our church home. And I have tried throwing up, little posts on like threads and being like, hey, give me some church recommendations that are not mega churches. And here we go with the social and like all these huge mega churches. Like, I think I have to reevaluate what I consider a small church or a decent sized church versus a mega church, because y'all still be recommending these huge churches. And I'm like, it must be me. No, it's me. It's me. It's me. It has to be me. But yes, so it's been challenging. We have not found it. But luckily we are not giving up. We know that we are called to community. We thoroughly believe that. And so the church search continues. But dang, it is a stretch and it's scary. And I don't think I realized how much insecurities or distrust I had towards the church in general. I think what I'm learning is that I had only opened my heart to my old church. Like, that's it. God is still stretching my heart to love more. Remember, I'm the girl who had one friend. now we're talking about different churches and things. So I realized that my heart had only opened towards my church, my home church. And now I'm being stretched to find a new one and grow my capacity further. And it's scary. It is so scary. Trusting people is scary. And in that same thing about community, is like making new friends. I live in a building that is very community focused. Yeah, I've been meeting so many people. I've even met new people from my old church who moved to Texas. There's so many new people, and it's like, I can't keep up. I'm struggling to trust so many people at once, and I just miss the comfort of the people I already know I can trust, the people I already know love the Lord for real. I miss the relationships that didn't come with so many questions. New relationships? Oh man. There's so much insecurity. You're like, can I call them? Do they like being called? Should I text them? Are they a texter? Do they like voice notes? I don't know if they like voice notes. It's just it's dating. It's dating. And I thought I had bypassed dating ever again. And yet it never stops. Now I'm just dating friends and going through the awkwardness and the insecurities of new friendships. I thought I was done with that. But yet here I am. So yes, community has been knocking my butt out, okay? Also with work. Obviously I have been creating content for 4 years if you are new to my channel. I've been doing this for a little bit now, since the pandemic, and I'll be honest, 4 years in, I'm in this space of like, who am I? Who am I as a creator? What type of content do I want to create? I'll be honest, I'm just gonna be totally transparent. I have never been the creator that was super strategic, and they were like, okay, so it's Q1 and this is what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna plan out this like content for Q3. I never did that. I have never been that creator, and maybe that is poor business etiquette, but I've never been that creator. I have always created from a place of my life, my experience. If you are an OG of mine who has been around for a while and literally watched my journey, you've seen that I've just literally kind of processed my life on camera. And for some reason in this season, I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to talk about my distrust with the church. I'm a believer. I should be able to trust the church, but for some reason, I can't. And I'm struggling with that. I didn't want to talk about not knowing who I am, just all my insecurity. I didn't want to talk about that. And I can't say particularly why. And I just kept asking a lot of questions of like, who am I? Am I a beauty creator? Am I this? Am I that? Just a lot of questions towards work. And I guess, I don't know. It's taken a lot of conversations with friends encouraging me and being like, bro, just continue what you're doing and just sharing your life. So this is literally what this video is. I am trying my best to just get back to the roots of the type of creator that I have always been, and that is just sharing my life on camera. For good or for bad. I have learned that I am not the creator that my life is 100% aesthetic all the time. I'm not. I have not gotten to that tax bracket yet. My house still needs to be furnished. Why? Because it's expensive. Yeah. You know how much a couch is? You know how much a TV is? I'm not. I don't even brush my hair every single day. I'm definitely not beating my face every single day. I think maybe once a week. Maybe. I beat my face when I get on camera for a special event. I don't really do it. Why? I don't know. It's just, I have been battling with the creator that I should be and that I should look like and the creator that I actually am. If you catch me in the middle of the street, you might not even recognize me because I'm gonna look a little raggedy. That's the type of creator I am. And I think I just have to accept that. I think that I'm in a season where I need to accept who I am and not who I believe that I should be. I'm in a season where I feel like I should be much further. as a creator. There are creators who are making close to $1 million. I am not one of those creators. And that's okay. I don't know why in this season I'm like low-key greedy. Like I've been struggling with like comparison and the should statements and looking at people who are getting signed to agencies and like their career is blasting off, and that's not me. And it sucks. It sucks, but I am battling with gratitude and contentment, and God has been exposing the areas of my heart where I am deeply ungrateful, where I'm realizing how negative I am mentally. Like my brain thinks worst case scenario all the time. I'm instantly distrustful. That's my natural factory setting. And that is something that I truly believe in this season God is trying to prune out of me. Because I'm like, God calls us to rejoice in all seasons. You think I'll be rejoicing? Y'all, I don't. I complain a lot. And I have to be so careful with my mouth, with my thoughts. Y'all, I just found a therapist. I just found a therapist out here because I'm like, I don't know. I didn't think that I arrived, but yet I think subconsciously I thought I arrived in my healing journey. And I'm realizing God is just so humbling because he just keeps showing you more and more and more that needs to be grown and worked out of you. So in this season, I am trying my absolute best to work on just being grateful for what I have, slowing down. My goodness. Social media always makes you feel like you are 10 steps behind someone, that you are missing one more thing. And I just need to look around and be grateful. So yeah, career, community. I'm the type of person who really appreciates order. I'm a type A kind of girly. Like I'm a Google Calendar, put in the hex code so they all go together. Like the ones who get it. That's what makes my brain itch, like give it a little scratch. So I am the girl who enjoys control. I really do. And right now in this season of my life, it's just too much newness. It is community and churches and work. Y'all, it has taken me so much energy to even film this video. I have been trying to get back to doing content this last month, but between the holidays and fasting and having to travel back, weddings and funerals, and I have not gotten a second to just be a stable person. And every time I think that I'm getting a hang of something happens that completely disrupts my routine all over again. So that is the season that I am in, friends. And I have so many personal goals in this season of like, I want to get my health together. I am dying to get my nutrition in order because y'all, it ain't normal to feel tired and have no energy all the time. That's not normal. And I really want to break the cycle of unhealthy relationships with food that I was brought up in. Like I want to get my health and nutrition together. I want to get my home in order. Like if I could have it my way. This is me ranting, by the way. This is me ranting and just being completely authentic to the things that I have been battling with. Is I basically want to do every single goal that's in my mind all at once. I want to do it all. And it sounds ridiculous, but I'm saying to you the things that I have subconsciously been thinking this entire time. This is just me getting to a place of like, oh, you're doing too much. You want too much at once. And yeah, so I wish if I could have it my way in this season, my apartment would be fully furnished. We would have a church home. I would automatically trust my community with my life, of course. I would be in a performing arts conservatory while also being in seminary, while also pursuing a degree in counseling. That would be where I'm at. Do you see how ridiculous that sounds? And yet in my mind, that is what I was striving for. Oh, I want a whole new wardrobe as well, don't forget that. Of course I want a whole new wardrobe because I feel like my style doesn't represent me and I feel really bummy and I can't purchase all the things I want because I'm also trying to pay off debt. Get it together. Get it together. I don't know how God deals with me, honestly. So what I'm learning in this season is that I need to slow down. I need to slow down. I need to take my time. I need to set small goals, realistic goals. I need to hunker down on what my priorities are because right now everything's a priority and it's not going well. So y'all, I just keep me in your prayers, honestly, as I navigate this, but I don't want to stop showing up for you guys. I want to show up consistently with content as I have in the past. And listen, I'll figure out the type of creator I am with time, or honestly, it'll just flow. But I think I want to wait to create when I have all the answers and when I feel confident in it. And when I have a strategy and a game plan, because there's so many creators that are so vision focused, like y'all just have that gift and I'm just not that. So a lot of acceptance in this season, a lot of prioritizing, just being grateful, being content. So that is why I have been MIA, my friends. Because I am just trying to figure life out. I'm just having one of those moments where I'm very confused. And I think that is the reality of being 24. I'm about to be 25 next Saturday. Who knows, by the time I post and edit this video, I might already be 25. But I don't know, maybe it's a quarter life crisis thing. Maybe it's because I'm turning 25, or maybe it's because I've transitioned. Maybe it's because I'm newly married, who knows? It seems like it's everything all at once, and that's just the stage of my healing journey that I am in. So if you want to see more content from me, make sure you tap into my YouTube channel, because honestly, this feels like the year of YouTube. I've done short form for a long time, but YouTube is where it's at. And I've always been nervous to attack YouTube because it's just a lot. But make sure you tap in, make sure you subscribe. Me and Jonathan will actually be having our own separate couples channel if you want to tap into more of us together. And please put in the comments what y'all want to see from me. What do you want to see? What content do you enjoy? Because I really do want to provide value for you guys. So if you just want to tap in and, I don't know, enjoy more content, make sure you hit subscribe, tap the bell button. These are the things I'm supposed to say, right? So I'll see you guys soon. Bye.